Coming up live on LiveWire, we've got a great show for you today. We've got actors and storytellers and novelists on LiveWire. So stay tuned, and we'll be with you right after this. I'm here in the studio with Danna Wilberg, who is a novelist. She's a filmmaker. She's a TV host. And you have all these wonderful things that you have done with your life and continue to do with your life. I bow down to that. But you're also a PCS finalist, which is an amazing thing because it is a wonderful award. It should be given to you. We'll see what happens at the award. Well, finalist is a high thing, and it's also you're also a Wave Award finalist, which was really when you won the PCS award.
Right, I did in 2016.
For something called
for Afternoon Delight. Afternoon Delight.
So you were walking down the street one day and you thought, I think I'll write a movie.
No, actually, the story is based on my mother. Which, you know, we grew up knowing that my mother was the source of the town's gossip. She was beautiful, and she'd get all dressed up, and she'd walk to the bus stop because she didn't drive. And everybody wanted to know where she was going and what she was doing, and they'd, you know, pss, 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 you know, where's she going? Where's she going? And you know, I don't want to give away the story, but the fact of the matter is, she wasn't doing what they thought that she was doing, and you know, it was kind of difficult growing up with that. You know, everybody thinking that of my mother.
Yeah, there were no secrets about our family.
Yeah.
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 So, but to have you know, people whisper. Was it a small town or was it?
Very small town, right? Rosemont, right by O'Hare Airport. There was only like 800 people.
Oh,
you know,
right.
It was really tiny.
Yes, in fact, I had some cousin that lived in Rosemont, right next to the field, next to O'Hare.
Yeah.
It was a long road, and they lived probably right next door to.
We probably know them.
And probably my auntie whispered about your mother.
Probably. She was. Yeah, she was. My mom was funny too. She wouldn't tell anybody. She said, it's none of their business. Let them talk. You know, that was her attitude.
I like
so
that.
Bunny Stewart really portrays. She's actually wearing my mother's.
This is a character in
she's
your
wearing
film.
my mother's dress in this film, which is, you know, that was, you know, just
you
such
did,
an
you
homage
did
to my mother.
So many things. I don't know how much time we have. We should do this for an hour. You know, you've written a number of romantic novels. What do you? I mean, like, you know, so many people are watching you and thinking, I wish I could write a romantic novel. What do? You just keep pushing words out, right?
You know, I did it as therapy. I started writing as therapy because I was in a car accident, and I was up all night. I was in so much pain. So it was suggested that I started writing, and I started writing, you know, emails back and forth to a friend who was also dealing with some pain issues, and it just kind of evolved into this story thing. And next thing I knew, I was writing my first novel. And it was wonderful. So I wrote another.
So you have a number out, and you can go to www.dannawilberg.
Yes, DannaWilberg.com with an A, Danna, D-A-N-N-A, Wilberg.com, and you can find out all about me, my films and my books.
There it is. There it's on the screen. You see, I love television.
Yeah,
it can give you so many messages, and there it is. Yeah. Danna Wilberg. But don't say Danna, say Danna.
That's right. Thank you, Ray. It's a Chicago thing, right?
Yeah, sure it is.
It
Yeah, it really is, you know.
Yeah.
Diversity and, you know, and what do you call it, Division Street.
Right. So for anybody out there who's you know, kind of dabbled with writing, I would really highly recommend that you get your feet wet by writing a script for a place called Sacramento.
That's right.
Which
the
is
deadline is coming up, isn't it?
Right. Was
when
it
March
21st?
Oh, yeah, March 20. Here, I'll look here at
Yeah.
my notes. Yeah. March
Yeah.
21st.
Go to the Access website and check it out, because this is how I really got started and so inspired. And actually, my first script was about my book, and I didn't get picked.
Oh.
And I was like, okay, well, shoot. But the thing was, they didn't think I'd be able to fill a restaurant with people, and that's why they didn't pick me. They thought that was going to be too hard.
People who evaluate those things are kind of, unfortunately, they pick some criteria, unspoken criteria,
Right.
and vote no.
Right. So what I did, that my sweet revenge was, my next film did get picked, and we actually had special effects where these papers come flying out of these notebooks. It was brilliant.
Oh.
Really brilliant.
You know, I think they should show all those PCS things on late night television here.
Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, absolutely. I go with that. So, what's next on your plate? What are you?
I'm working on a feature film script, which is called Undue Influence, and it's about elder abuse. That's my passion right now, is getting the word out about elder abuse.
Yes.
And I've got a book in the hopper. It's a paranormal suspense this time.
Now, paranormal is something that you know a lot about.
I do, yeah.
How is that?
I hosted, produced and hosted Paranormal Connection for, I think it was like 13 years.
Paranormal Connection.
Yeah, right here.
You know, and
Paranormal
right
Connection.
here on this station, and it was it's amazing because I used to watch it. And you'd say, "Wow, you know, they had these lights that they would show. No, there's something there." Ah!
Yeah, we had a lot of interesting people.
Oh,
that
so
would
you
come on
have
the show.
some video that we have? Did we have some
Oh, we
video?
have a clip of Afternoon Delight.
Oh, I want to see it.
Oh, it's.
All right, here we go. So this is by Danna Wilberg. Did you direct it as well?
I did. This was my.
Oh, I don't know. Going to town, do a little shopping. Why?
Well, you're glowing, so I thought maybe you had something special planned.
Must be the heat from the stove. Hello, Paul. It's Janine.
Good. See you. Mon petit chou. I take your nose with me all day.
Voila.
I wonder where she's going. I guarantee you, she's not going to church.
Wonderful, and I know those actors very well.
Oh my gosh, they were so brilliant.
They're wonderful.
Yeah.
You really
Funny
lucked out
story.
with the
I
actors. It was
did.
beautiful, and I love these scenes of the shots in the mirror. You know, the reflection in the mirror and all of that. All quite wonderful.
Yeah, that was Tim Walton, who got an award for he was the best photographer for cinematography that year too. So yeah, he did a great job, and he also edited. So yeah, I was very proud
I think
of
that
that.
the music went with transitions and all of that.
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
cute.
a nice little.
It was fun, and it's kind of a surprise ending. So it's not what you think it is. Okay.
Oh, of course I know it's not what I think it is. Nothing ever is in Sacramento.
I know.
Oh,
Well,
I mean-
it was like with my mother. It wasn't what people think it was. Yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway.
No, I saw your statement about your mom.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Wow, this is really. So you're also a grandma.
I am a grandma.
told me that.
My daughter,
I'm not sure I was
yes,
supposed
my
to let
oldest
that
daughter
out.
just had twins. I'm just, I get so verklempt.
Verklempt. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, they're beautiful babies. And I also have a 2-year-old grandson, so I'm really thrilled.
So you really
Yeah, I'm
got
so
it
blessed.
all, and
I
you seem to
do.
be doing it all.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I am. You know, before we run out of time, I do want to invite everybody out to the I Love Film Mixer that takes place in Placerville at the El Dorado County Fairgrounds. It's this Friday from 4 to 8 p.m. It's a free event, and they've got vendors, local vendors with food and wine tasting. But the big draw is going to be, we've got Tony Stanowitz, who was the local casting director for Lady Bird.
For Lady Bird.
Yeah,
Wow.
so-
you know, that show continues to roll on and getting better and
Yeah.
better. You know, she directed that, and she was. I read this statistic in The Week magazine. It said that she's one of like 6 women.
That's Greta. Tony was the casting director.
Oh, Tony, yeah,
Yes.
that's what I know about that.
Okay,
And I was just so amazed. And Tony obviously is part of this award-winning,
yes,
high-end kind of California picture.
Right. Women in Power.
Women Power, all
Yeah,
of that.
it was good. And Marcus Allen is going to be our MC, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And there's
So
an
it's this
after party.
Friday
It's this Friday at the El Dorado County Fairgrounds, which is in Placerville,
Yep.
100 Placerville Drive, and it starts at 4 o'clock, ends at 8 o'clock, and then there's an after party at the Hop House in El Dorado Hills. I know, right? So everybody's going to be there.
After the wine tasting, you go to the Hop House?
Right.
Woo!
Right.
Oh, you better have a driver.
I know. It's going to be fun.
It's called the I Love Film Mixer, and there
Call
it is.
Uber. Call Uber. So everybody's invited. It's wonderful. There's going to be all kinds of booths, so you can learn about acting, producing.
After a glass of wine, I could learn about acting and producing.
You know all that stuff.
What fun!
Yeah.
What fun! And thanks for the tip on the PCS submission deadline coming up. You made a deadline and did
I
something.
did
really
actually.
wonderful.
I've had 6 films that have been chosen. I feel really blessed, and I think every time I was picked, it was such a surprise because there were so many wonderful contenders. And
Yeah, but people don't understand that. This is such an opportunity. You can't find this opportunity in other cities.
No.
You write a summary of a film that you would like to see, and then you're picked. You make it. There it is, Donna
Right.
Wilberg, The Red Chair. Oh, wait a minute. That's a novel. That's one of your novels.
That's my novel. Yeah, that's my first novel. That's the first of 3. And my characters, it's a psychotherapist who has this relationship with a psychopath. So it's the whole series kind of addresses the premise that we really don't know anything about another person.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
so-
You don't know that I'm secretly Polish and from Chicago.
Now I do.
Oh no, I let it all out. And the black dress, and I wear a black dress at midnight. And open my gray door to anyone.
That's right. Watch
Those
out
are your
for
other
those gray
novels.
doors.
That's wonderful. Those are great covers,
It's
too. I
a
like them.
trilogy. So those are actually paintings from Jim Markson, who's a local artist.
That's great.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of a wonderful local thing.
It is a local thing.
Great.
Right.
Well, I
they
wish you
take
well
place
on
in
all of
Sacramento.
these things that you're doing. I think it's fantastic.
Thank you so much, Ray.
And you like filmmaking, but you also like writing, and those are kind of very different. One is a highly visual medium.
Yes.
And the other one is you have to make the visual with words.
With woods, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? One kind of works with the other. So after I made my first film, it really improved my writing because now I had this visual of how things are made and how to use dialogue effectively. More effectively.
In novels. Well,
Right.
absolutely
So
a wonderful thing.
yeah, there's the show don't tell, and then there's the tell don't show. So it was kind of an opposite thing, but it really lent a lot of depth to my writing.
Wow. Donna, come on back when you can.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right.
All right.
All
Good
right.
luck, everybody. On
Yeah,
your,
we're going to take a short pause for the cause. We'll be back with our next guest in just a few seconds after these important public service messages come to your way.
I tell people I have 3 kids, one of them's adopted, I just don't know which one.
I can't imagine having to be in a birth mother's position to make that choice.
I was kind of just asking her, what is your motivation? Why are you doing this? And she looked at me and she said, because you can give my son a life that I could not.
We always tell her thank you. He is such a blessing to us.
Every day is just a ray of sunshine from him. So we're Chanda and Brian, and we chose adoption.
Nearly half of children with autism wander away from safe places, such as their home or school. If you ever see a child walking alone, remember the 3 S's. Stop to help, seek assistance from police, Stay until they arrive. If a child with autism is missing, immediately search places that pose the most danger, such as nearby water and busy streets. To learn more, visit missingkids.com/aware.
We're back in the studio with Mark Lyon, who is a storyteller, a master storyteller. He's written books on
the supernatural, true stories of the supernatural.
And you're also the storyteller, and you're also doing a production at California Stage of a play called
Between Earth and Sky, Irish Tales of the Supernatural.
That's good. Irish Tales is... And I didn't know that the Irish talked about supernatural things.
Oh, I think that and drinking about all they do talk about.
Woo! They're going to meet you at the door.
Oh, God.
This is an Irish town. At any rate, what's really great is that coming on St. Paddy's Day, you got to do some individually different things, and just not walk around with a shamrock on your shoulder.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but I really like the fact that you have these stories, and these are kind of like ancient tales.
Right. I wouldn't say ancient as much as old. I mean, 200-300 years old.
Yeah, well, that's pretty ancient. But I really think, and also the thing is that you present them as if you were an ancient bard, because in bardic times, the songs were sung between it was the full Monty production.
Yes, and I'm glad you caught that, because that was something that I thought most people might pick up subliminally, perhaps.
Yeah.
But yes, I wanted to model myself on what they called a Shawnee, who would be someone who would go from town to town telling stories. And only in my case, I wanted to go beyond just traditional storytelling, but turn it into a full theatrical event with acting that has...
You have to play the characters in the stories. So
absolutely.
Like Danna Wilberg turned dialogue, and you put dialogue into the stories where it might have been a he said, she said, and then you say what they said. But instead of that, you become the leprechaun.
Absolutely, yeah. Basically, I've taken the one-person show format and utilized it for storytelling.
So, we brought a clip of the show.
Good.
We sent a camera over there and we snuck in there. It's a little echoey, but we caught one of your stories, or part of one of your stories, where it's a kind of a cautionary tale, as you say at the end, a cautionary tale on what should act when you see a leprechaun.
Correct.
Can we get a look at that and have a look at it? Or you can go to Haunted Isles and never come home. No. Let's have a look at this clip.
One fine day, this Tom Fitzpatrick was sauntering along the sunny side of a hedge when he heard a strange clacking, tapping sort of sound coming from deep within the hedge. What a strange sort of sound that is, he said, going up onto the tips of his toes and trying to peer into the hedge. And what should he see but a brown pitcher that might hold 1.5 gallons of liquor, and a wee little dinny-donny bit of an old man with a cocked hat on his head, and a dishy-dashy leather apron tied round his middle, nailing a heel piece onto a shoe. By the powers, said Tom to himself, what have I chanced upon here? Sure, 'tis good fortune is smiling upon me today, for I've often heard tell of the leprechauns, but to tell God's truth, I never rightly believed in them. But there's one of them, in real earnest. If I go to work knowingly, I'm a made man. But they say, you must never take your eye off a leprechaun for even an instant, or he'll vanish. So, Tom stole on quietly, keeping his eye on the little man, just as a cat does with a mouse. And when he got up close, says Tom, "God bless your work, good neighbor." "Ah, thank you kindly. I wonder how it is that you be working on this fine day." "Well, that would be me own business, and none of yours." "Well, maybe you'd at least be civil enough to be telling the body what you got in that picture there." "Ah, that I will, and with pleasure. 'Tis good beer it would be." "Beer? Thunder and fire! Would you be giving a body a taste of your beer? Well, 'twould be fitter for you, young man, to be watching out after your father's property than to be bothering decent, quiet people with your foolish questions. For while you're idling away your time here, the cows are broke into the oats and are knocking the corn all about." Well, Tom was so taken by surprise by this that he was just on the point of turning to look, when he recollected himself. He kept his eyes square on the little man, and being afeard that the leprechaun might try to trick him again, he pounced on the little man, catching him by the hand. "Ah, that was a fine try you made at tricking me, but I'll not be letting go of your hand, nor will I be taking me eye off you till you be showing me where you hid your hoard of fairy gold." "You are a most clever lad. I guess there's nothing for."
Well, Tom Fitzpatrick made some mistakes there. What were they?
Well, well, I don't want to give it away to people come, but he does make a mistake.
So we'll find out. You've got to find out by going to see this piece called "Tween Earth and Sky."
Irish Tales of the Supernatural.
Oh, right. It's got a subtitle.
Yes.
So, and it's at California Stage, and you can just Google the words Cal Stage at Gmail or CalStage.
CalStage.org.
Thank you, sir. CalStage.org, or you can just come on down Friday night at 8, Saturday night at 8, and the last showing Sunday at 7.
Right.
So, all right, well, that's really interesting. And the other things in your life you do, you tour this around.
Right. I've been touring one-man plays on and off for about the last 20 years. I think this is the 5th of my one-man plays that I've done over the years.
Really?
And I've been performing mostly in Canada, but I took one of my shows off to Ireland, a show called Ghosties and Ghoulies and Long-Legged Beasties and Things That Go Bump in the Night.
Oh, yeah.
And I was fortunate enough to be asked to perform it at the Listle Writers' Week Festival, which they tell me is the most prestigious literary event of the year in Ireland. So that was great fun.
That must have been. And at any rate, you also played up in the foothills up here at the recent Foothill Festival. Is that correct?
Oh, the Nugget Fringe Festival.
The Nugget Fringe Festival.
Yes.
My friend Marion Jeffries worked there.
Right. Yes, actually, I was I was performing in a show of monologues with Marion.
Oh.
And I have to say, she is probably the most magical actor I've ever worked with in my entire life.
Besides yourself, of course. You're an actor, right?
Well, no, the only person that I've worked with that I think is close to Marion was when I had the pleasure of working with Lynn Redgrave years ago. And
brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant actors.
Yeah.
Both of them.
They're both brilliant, and I learned a lot from Lynn. And she encouraged me to do the one-man plays and pursue that for many years. And unfortunately, she passed on a few years ago. And Marion has kind of taken over where Lynn left off and really helped me a great deal on my acting.
This is great. Do we have some slides to show? I think that's the case. It says slideshow, so let's have a look at these. There you are.
That's me.
Oh-ho! You know, and I love that your hat, and that's a real shillelagh, right?
Well, yeah, it was sold to me as a real shillelagh, but now I'm having doubts. I think it may be a Maasai war club. I'm not sure, but in any case, it serves the same purpose.
But that's the lost tribes of Ireland.
That's right. Kind of wandered off.
Yeah, a little bit. There you go. I love that shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what's really interesting, if you watch that film a few times now, and is your gestural patterns are so interesting. They really help you express the piece. And there you are, above some ghostly town. Wow. Okay, so
yes, I live in a ghostly town.
You do? Where do you live?
I live just above Nevada City.
Oh,
and during October, I do historical ghost tours of Nevada City and Grass Valley.
Bet you there's a lot to tell there, huh?
Oh, there are. When someone first suggested it to me, I thought I couldn't find enough stories to do an hour tour, and now I've got more stories than I could tell if I were to do 3 hours in each town.
Oh, wonderful. So how would they do? They'd just go to Haunted Isles, right?
Yeah, hauntedisles.com.
Yeah.
I'm also hoping to do tours of supernatural Ireland in the future, so that would be fun.
That sounds like a lot of fun. Well, this is amazing stuff you do, and I'm sorry that this is just the last weekend of your performance, because I'm sure that coming around St. Paddy's Day, everybody's going to get really Irish.
Yes,
but this is a head start.
Absolutely, and I hope that people who see it will be intrigued by Irish folklore, and it will spur them to do their own reading on the subject.
Absolutely. I have seen a lot of storytellers in my time, because I really like storytelling, and I think you're on the top of the list, pal.
Well, thank you.
No doubt about that.
Well, thank you so very much.
So I wish you well in your current production.
Well, thank you.
We'll see you around town.
Sounds good.
Okay. Thanks. Goodbye.
Thank you, Ray.
All right. Okay, that's all the time we have for today, unfortunately. We do this show and meet people like Mark once a week, every Wednesday at 5 o'clock, live at 5. We're live. Anything could happen if you're live. See you next week on LiveWire. Bye.